News and making a difference.
A lot going on in and around town.
Nobody chooses to lay on the ground when it's 5 degrees in the winter. Come on, man.
What's the plan to help
What
those
is the
who
plan?
need it most?
Right on, Larry.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry and Marty. Weekday mornings 5:30 till 10 on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC. Foundations, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of Brian Caranta and his guests and are not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Foundations only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. No legal or tax advice is provided. Always consult with a tax professional. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company. Not guaranteed by any bank or the FDIC. All rates reserved.
Can you tell if the leftovers from this dinner party are beginning to grow bacteria that could lead to severe diarrhea, vomiting, and stomach cramps? Listen. Can't, can you? You can't see it either. Make sure your leftovers are as safe as they are delicious. Get them into the refrigerator as soon as possible and transfer them into shallow containers. Spoiled leftovers can make you very sick, or worse. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year, and roughly 3,000 will die. But you can keep your family safer by chilling food promptly and properly. Learn more about this and other important information. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. That's foodsafety.gov. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
Long live the king.
Return to the magic and mystique of the Renaissance. The Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. This weekend, September 2nd through the 4th, is Kids Free Weekend. Kids 12 and under are free.
It's entertainment. It's fantasy.
It's an adventure. To the past.
Eat, drink, and be merry at the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. Kids are free. Open weekends through October 1st. Go to PittsburghRenFest.com.
And it's a beautiful day here at the Weekend Getaway.
Oh no, looks like a loose stair on the porch.
And he is out.
Add another one to the IL.
Not how they wanted the season to start. At Morgan & Morgan, we know injuries can come out of left field. As America's largest injury law firm, we've recovered over $15 billion for our clients. If you've been injured in an accident, call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When a cold comes on strong, knock it out with Vicks DayQuil Severe for max strength daytime relief. Just 1 dose of Vicks DayQuil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through your day with Vicks DayQuil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine. Use as directed.
As a family member or friend, you may be the first to notice when a veteran you love has been going through changes. Things like withdrawing, drinking more, or increased anger could be a sign of a larger health concern. But help is available. Listen to hundreds of inspiring stories at maketheconnection.net and learn how you can support the veterans in your life. Treatment works. Recovery is possible.
To some, a baby's babbling doesn't mean much, but it does. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Company.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
.65 degrees and fair skies at Pittsburgh International at 9 o'clock. I'm Pat Septak. A Karn City area high school football player is hospitalized this morning after collapsing on the field Friday. The Butler Eagle reports Karn City quarterback Mason Martin collapsed near the 8-minute mark of the third quarter of the team's game against Red Bank Valley High. According to the newspaper, the game was stopped by the officials. Martin was reportedly flown to UPMC Presbyterian Hospital. No word on his condition this morning. Federal authorities confirm that Robert Bowers took his place on death row in federal prison this week. Bowers was convicted over the summer in connection with the slaughter of 11 people in a 2018 mass shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Squirrel Hill. He was sentenced to death last month. Bowers is imprisoned at the U.S. Penitentiary in Indiana. Jimmy Buffett, singer-songwriter and entrepreneur, has died at the age of 76, leaving behind a song, a 1977 breakthrough hit single that is more than a song, according to Syracuse University pop culture professor Robert Thompson.
Jimmy Buffett will forever be associated with one thing and one song, Margaritaville. It's all over the place. It's a state of mind. It's a lifestyle.
As a businessman, Buffett founded a string of popular tropical island-themed Margaritaville restaurants, including one in Times Square in New York City. A tribute statement on Buffett's website reads, "He lived his life like a song to the very last breath and will be missed beyond measure by so many." 1 out of every 5 Americans, that's 50 million people, deal with chronic pain. It's the fastest-growing health condition in our country. Dr. Leah Russell Flaherty is a pain psychologist at Allegheny Health Network, and to decrease the burden of chronic pain, she recently started a program to help patients manage their pain without medication.
It teaches folks about their body. We can learn to figure out how to control it. So we kind of feel about pain like it runs the show, right? But what we're learning is how we can respond in different ways to help our body decrease what's going on with those pain responses. And we can learn how to do that with this class.
The single-session classes are free to the public and are available virtually via Zoom and in person at West Penn Hospital. Just email empoweredrelief@ahn.org. This week in Pittsburgh history, Amelia Earhart was here. She had a little stopover in Pittsburgh that ended with a crash landing. Pittsburgh Magazine's Christy Laughlin tells the BK Morning Show she didn't get hurt, but then she disappeared a couple years later.
She crash landed at Rogers Field, which is now the site of Fox Chapel Area High School. Neither Earhart or her passenger and her future husband, George Putnam, were injured, but the famous aviator, who was the first woman to cross the Atlantic by plane, disappeared along with her navigator in July 1937.
And you can read all about it and see the photos at pittsburghmagazine.com. KDKA Sports, the Pirates had a 4-2 victory in 10 innings against the Cardinals last night. The two teams again tonight in St. Louis. First pitch at 7:15. And a local broadcasting legend will begin his 50th year on air today. News Radio KDKA's Shelby Cassesi has the story.
He breaks the tackle. He's at the 25. He's at the 15. Still on his feet at the 10. He's zigging and zagging for the end zone. And that's a touchdown.
His voice is synonymous with some of Pittsburgh's best sports moments. Bill Hillgrove has been behind the mic for decades and will begin his 50th season calling Pitt football Saturday as the Panthers open their season against Wofford.
I enjoy it. It's not work for me. It's a pleasure to sit down and, go over a depth chart and put things on the computer because I used to do it by hand, and then I ran out of whiteout.
Hillgrove is also play-by-play man for the Steelers and Pitt basketball radio broadcasts. Shelby Cassasi, News Radio KDKA.
KDKA Radio News Time is 9:04. Time to call Shenderovich and Fishman. Why pay 40% when you can pay 25%? Call 888-98-TWINS. The AccuWeather forecast is next.
I'm Scott Brewer at Brewer Airport Toyota, and I want to invite you in to win with Toyota's National Sales Event. It only happens once a year, and this year it's all about now. We are loaded up with our biggest availability of the year on new or pre-owned Toyotas. This month you can drive out with a Tacoma, 4Runner, Highlander, Corolla, and more. How about $750 finance cash on the Camry or Corolla, or lease specials on all models? The programs last all month, but the inventory won't. Hurry in and get yours today. Check us out in person or online at BrewerAirportToyota.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It is going to be mostly sunny and warm today, but not too humid. High up to 86. Partly cloudy tonight, low down to 67. Sunny, very warm and humid tomorrow, high up to 88. And then Monday, Labor Day, hot and humid, high up to 92. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Ridney, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
KDKA Radio News Time is 9:05. Our next update at 9:30. I'm Pat Septak on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDKA.
The following is paid for by MediConnect. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, we've got Mark Clark here, and we've got Lance O'Brien. This is MediConnect, the inside connection. Lots to get to. Don't forget, 888-818-6334. We've got advisors standing by until noon. We've got great seminars we're going to tell you about. You can get information there by going to MediConnectInsurance.com. Click on the seminars tab and get your spot reserved. They are free, but you got to get a reservation. You can also do it by phone. And being that we're getting close to that annual enrollment period, weeks away, you're going to be 65. Well, or you are 65 or you want to revisit, you need to call to set up an appointment. And remember, there is never a fee to schedule an appointment or spend time with MediConnect. They get paid by the carriers, and they know them all, A to Z. They are the single most important choice you will make when it comes to your Medicare coverage. That's 888-818-6334. Sean Horn doing much better. Was texting with him earlier today. He's looking forward to coming back. But thanks to him and all of you, because of a visit I made to your offices not too long ago, I now have a down payment to close out on my house, and I will not have to take a single cent out of the bank because as of yesterday, not one but two Social Security checks, because I became officially 66 and a half at the end of July, are now in my bank account. And yes, I will be able to write that check for the down payment on my house at closing time, and it's all because of you and MediConnect, Lance, Mark, Sean, Brian, and of course, Laura and others. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. I got the Cheshire Cat grin going this morning.
It was, I'm telling you, divine intervention. I'm telling you, it was amazing. And it's just incredible what a few moments in your offices and how it can change someone's life.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've talked off air over the last few years, Rob, about, renting, thinking about getting something, and to see that you're able to finally do that. So excited for you, happy for you, glad we could be a part of it. Timing worked out impeccably. We couldn't have known that when we first started walking down that path, but congratulations.
Thank you.
I know it's been a hard week for you, too.
Yeah,
and,
it has been.
And we want to, MediConnect, I know I reached out to you. I know others did from our team, but we just wanted to express our sympathy to you on the loss of your good friend, Joe.
Listen, both you and Mark have had time on the altar or as preachers and ministers, if you will, and as I did his eulogy live on Facebook, I got to tell you, I've done network television. I've been on this great radio station. I've done so much in my life. But putting that eulogy together in my mind and getting ready to step up there live in front of people at the church, people on Facebook, it's a great tool. But I must tell you, I have a fond appreciation even more now than ever for people who are in any walk of life, people of clergy. And when you do something from the heart, 9 times out of 10, as Joe used to tell me, just tell the people what's on your mind. Mm-hmm. I think that really touches them. But I have a whole new appreciation for what you and Mark do and those who are in the business of ministering and people of faith. And to me, it's one of the greatest gifts that we have in America today.
Absolutely.
Around the world, too.
Yeah, it's funny because I was just leafing through some of my old messages and things I did, and I ran across my mom's eulogy. And you always want to make sure you do it right for the people people that matter most, right? And I'm glad that you got the chance to do that.
Yeah, and I want to thank the Catholic Church, and I want to thank the Simon's Funeral Home for letting me go live on Facebook.
That's awesome.
Because, look, here's what happens on this great radio station, especially my weekend shows. I mean, look, this is an info commercial. We know that.
Yep.
But it's more than that. We become family. You guys have been with me for years. People get to know you and your families. You just had a grandchild. We know about your new house, your wife, and all the things that you go through. So it's beyond just that business relationship. It's a personal relationship. And really, Joe Dentisi, like all of you, a whole lot more than his working family, his biological family, his neighbors, his friends. This radio audience becomes a part of the family that we all are, and we respect each other and we care about each other. So that's why I was so glad I had a chance to do that.
And I think that's why we've developed such a great relationship over the last 5 years, because I think at the end of the day, our overall goal is to make sure that people, once they walk into our office and out of our office, right, Mark, that they've had an experience where they feel peace of mind. We've done right by them. We've let them make the decision. That's been an important one, but we've put all the tools in their hands, right? And you know, all these years just trying to make sure you're getting great information out. It makes life fun. It makes it interesting.
And let me say this, we just had a representative from Social Security on not too long ago, and I've always been a fan of certain government entities like Medicare and Social Security. And, I got a call from them, and I can't tell you how wonderful this person was. And if it wasn't for her, I'd have left that money from July on the table.
Yeah.
So just know this. There are a lot of good things in this country, and we talk about one every week, which is Medicare.
Yeah, no, and we're excited to be on the air. And Mark, this morning, I think we're going to burn through this first segment, it sounds like, which is totally fine with me because, I'm just happy to be here. I think I heard someone say that before. But Labor Day weekend, a lot of appreciation for all the hard workers out there.
Yeah, we live in a country where the people have made a difference. We built this country, right, with our bare hands, with our sweat and tears. So it's a great time to celebrate. It's a time of year where we're all preparing for the winter weather to come up, and fall seems to be upon us, right? And you got to enjoy these last few hot days of summer, right?
Well, it's going to be a great weekend, isn't it? It's going to be a beautiful one.
Yeah. Listen, but no matter how hard we think we work, and I was talking about this earlier today, your dad really worked, did he not?
My dad was a stonemason, right? And he did it from the age of about 15, and he was hanging sheetrock the day he passed away, unfortunately. Had a sugar episode because he was a type 1 diabetic. But yeah, you look at all the people that we have the chance to work with all the time, Mark and Rob, and they're the people that after the war, World War II, they put this country on their backs, quite honestly, right? And they said, we're going to be rebuilt, we're going to be strong, we're going to create futures for our children. And that's why for us to be able to provide them the opportunity to be able to retire with a sense of peace of mind, it's a great thing.
Listen, and one of our co-workers, Laura, of course, her significant other, I saw some of the work that he did for you, Jeff Seaver, and I must tell you, I would have still been in bed with a backache. I can't believe that guy is an artist, is he not?
He is an artist, yeah. And a lot of great artists in our city had the chance. My brother came into town this week, he's also a stonemason, and we took the incline up the top of Mount Washington, and it was his first time seeing the city, and he was just enthralled by a lot of the stuff. We went down to Station Square, and just a great city that we're a part of, great country. I feel like we're getting a little mushy here this morning, but. You know what? It's we're just blessed. I think in our society today, there's so much news about so much negative and bad, and everything's so polarizing. And you know what? We live in a great country, even though we don't always agree. And this is a weekend to appreciate the hard work that everybody does.
Absolutely. Labor Day, very important. Don't forget the Big K Morning Show on Monday. I'm going to have a great guest group that's going to be joining me, and we're going to be doing nothing but saluting labor, and it's always my pleasure and honor to do that. So we got about a minute to the break. We have a lot to get to on this program, but I guess the most important thing is with the annual enrollment period around the bend, we're talking like weeks away. People need to get an appointment today.
Yeah, you know how hard it is to keep a secret, Rob? Keeping a secret is tough. And Mark and I, we've been keeping secrets now for about 3 or 4 weeks because we've been learning about all the new plans and everything. And, man, we want to talk about it, but we got to wait till October 1st. But if someone wants to get on the schedule now, I do recommend it. In this enrollment period, we're probably going to see 3,000 to 4,000 people. So, Mark, what's the best way for people to get a hold of us?
Well, they can call our live line, 888-818-6334. We got live advisors standing by until noon today. They can go to our website to register for the seminars. That's MediConnectInsurance.com. There's a seminars tab. You want to click on that. And those live advisors are ready and willing to talk to you right now. So many of them just really care about the people that we work with. So reach out today, 888-818-6334.
All right, we'll come back. We have a lot to get to. Please stay with us. This is the Inside Connection, MediConnect. It's your Pratt Pack. It's the Labor Day weekend at KDKA. Good morning.
The source you trust for news and information that matters. News Radio, KDKA.
Now, we've all seen those weight loss companies pop up out of nowhere. They promise you the world. One day they're on every billboard and radio slot. Next thing you know, poof, gone. But Awaken 180, that's a whole different ballgame. Chris Mack here, 93.7 The Fan. And Awaken 180 doesn't just promise, they deliver. And not just for a quick minute, but for the long haul. I mean, come on. When was the last time you heard a weight loss company provide free support for life? That's putting your money where your mouth is. They've been standing strong by that promise for nearly a decade with Awaken 180. It's more than a promise. Thanks to the coaching I received, learning what I now know, I haven't put a pound of that 30 pounds I dropped last fall back on. And how's this for a commitment for sticking around? Awaken 180, now the official weight loss program of the Pittsburgh Penguins. The program works. Call 844-346-1800. 844-346-1800 or check them out online today at awaken180weightloss.com.
The PBP, Voices of Baseball, is a podcast about the art and craft of play-by-play, and we're in the middle of an amazing season. Catch up on episodes with Joe Buck, Joe Davis, Pat Hughes, and more, and learn along with me, Matt Spiegel, how the job is done.
It's not just home run Bryce Harper in the Phillies league. To really do it justice, you got to widen the lens. What does this home run mean?
The PBP, Voices of Baseball. I bring you the people who bring you the game. Listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
These are the people that make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, we're back with these gentlemen who are representing MediConnect. Of course, the Inside Connection. Mark Clark is here. Lance O'Brien is here. 888-818-6334 or MediConnectInsurance.com.
Yeah, so we finished our Medicare 101 series last week. We went over a ton of stuff related to Medicare Advantage, MedSup, Part A, Part B, penalties, all of that stuff. If you missed any of our educational overview, you want to go to YouTube. You can actually search MediConnect Insurance on there, and you'll get all of those episodes. We're going to talk about strategic partners and some of the great relationships and how maybe you can be one of the next relationships that we work with, that we've really helped a lot of employers, a lot of financial advisors, tax accountants, elder law, the carriers themselves, unions, doctors, physicians, the list goes on and on. I know you got a story to share later in the show, Mark.
Yeah. I have relationships with friends of mine, people I know in larger companies in Pittsburgh, and basically since I've been doing this, they know that they can refer the people that are getting ready to retire. I get a phone call every once in a while. Hey, your friend Mary told me to call you,
Yeah, bridging the healthcare gap, making Medicare simple. It is for the individual consumer, but we've been able to be an asset to a lot of organizations. So we're going to spend some time on that. But before we do, Labor Day was first celebrated 1887. We got some trivia. Somebody out there is probably making breakfast right now. Their kitchen probably smells amazing. And today is Happy International Bacon Day.
It sounds good.
I love bacon. Bacon. Give me all the bacon.
There's this one place out there somewhere. I forget where I saw it, but they have a 1 pound bacon sandwich.
Oh my goodness, man!
You know what I'd say to that. So what are you gonna have?
I don't know. Well, there's probably 20 some pieces of bacon on that.
Make bacon coffee, bacon ice cream. Forget bacon bits. There's bacon everywhere. So
you wrap bacon around. Yeah, you wrap bacon around anything. It makes it taste good.
And
right?
one of my favorites, of course, the reason why we have teddy bears in America on this date. Tell them, Lance.
Yeah, so on this date in 1901, Teddy Roosevelt gives his first national speech, and it was in that speech that his famous phrase, "Speak softly and carry a big stick," came from.
Yeah.
And on September 2nd, 1944, Mark.
World War II came to an end as the Japanese signed a surrender declaration. How about that?
Yeah, and that's going to figure into our trivia question today here in a few minutes. Sadly, on September 2nd, 1973, the age of 81 years old, J.R.R. Tolkien passed away. Of course, famous for The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings. Amazon's got a new series. It's a 5-season prequel. Don't know if you knew this or if you're a big fan of these series.
I did not know that.
Called The Power of the Rings. The first season, 10 episodes, is out. So if you're a big fan of that, you're going to want to check that out. But sad to see him go.
Also, what I think of with that gentleman, residual checks. His grandchildren, great-grandchildren. God bless him. The legacy will go on.
Absolutely.
And happy birthdays to some notables, including one of my all-time favorites from your Los Angeles Rams, who I thought was a lot younger than me, but now I realize I got to start working out more.
This one shocked me too, Rob. Eric Dickerson, right? One of the greatest running backs of all time, right? Turned 63 years old today. I can still, it seems like yesterday.
And I got to tell you see the big lifelike cardboard cutouts in the we got Paul Zeiss, Bob Pompiani, and the other gentleman who I compared to this guy when he was running the football for Bob Palco at West A. Doran Dickerson, who went on University of Pittsburgh, ended up as a tight end, but was an incredible running back in high school. He ran upright the exact same way as Eric Dickerson.
Yeah, I remember him actually, following him a few years ago.
What a great athlete, no doubt about it, and a great radio talent, too. All right, what about another birthday?
Yeah, so this one's a little painful for me, just because I am a huge boxing fan, grew up in the Catskill Mountains of New York, where the famous Mike Tyson came from. But today, Lennox Lewis, turning 58 years old. Don't like the fact that he pummeled my boy back in the day when they got in the ring together, but happy birthday, Lennox.
Yeah, I don't think he called himself a boxer. I think he would always say, I'm a pugilist.
Yeah, that's it, man. Coming from England. And I'll let you do this one because you got to call another woman beautiful.
Selma Hayek, right? One of the most beautiful women in the world, right? Movie star, all that. She turns 57 today. How about that? She shares the same month as I do for my birthday.
There you go.
How about that?
You guys got a connection, Mark.
Yeah. This is Mark Timber.
Listen, don't get me started about Selma Hayek because my palms will start to sweat. She's absolutely beautiful, and she is a tremendous talent, too.
Yeah, she really is talented. Yeah. And then the last birthday, of course, living in the Steel City, we can't get away without doing this one. A very happy birthday to Terry Bradshaw, who turned 75 years old today. Recently announced remission from cancer. Really took Pittsburgh in the 70s and put him on the map, made him a perennial Super Bowl team, just the organization itself. So one of the most recognizable faces in football and still very active on Fox NFL Sunday.
Yeah, and for all those folks who were ridiculous in questioning his brain power and smarts, I think he got the last laugh.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay for himself.
I couldn't be happier. I love him. All right, now we got a trivia question. By the way, 412-922-1020, 412-922-1020. If you get the correct answer, you'll get a gift card courtesy of MediConnect. Go ahead, Mark.
Okay, so today's trivia question is, what was the name of the naval ship where the surrender declaration was signed, ending World War II? Again, what was the name of the naval ship where the surrender declaration was signed, ending World War II?
Good question.
Yeah, great question.
412-922-1020. If you think you know it, give us a call right now. Listen, we're going to get to a break here about 5 minutes. We have a lot of ground to cover, but I want to make sure that we get to these seminar locations, especially with the annual enrollment period looming. So there's got a number of locations that they want you to be a part of, and I'm going to tell you how you can register. But first, Mark's going to tell you where they're going to be. Mark.
All right, September 5th, we're going to be at the Holiday Inn in Irwin. September 12th, we'll be at the Holiday Inn in Monroeville. And then again, September 13th, we'll be at the Holiday Inn in Monroeville. September 19th, AHN Hospital in McCandless. September 20th, we'll be at the Holiday Inn on Washington Pike in Bridgeville. And September 26th, Beaver Memorial Library. We'll be there. And then in October, we're coming to Cranberry, Penn Hills, whole bunch up more locations. Just go to MediConnectInsurance.com, go to the seminars tab. You can register there, or you could call our live advisors at 888-818-6334.
All right, again, we'll take a short break in a couple of minutes, but before we do, I'm going to give these guys a couple of minutes to kind of take care of some loose ends, and then we're going to dive into a lot of great stuff that you need to know. But don't forget to get an appointment set up with them that is absolutely free of charge, never a charge for their services. You can call right now, 888-818-6334, 888-818-6334. Live advisors standing by until noon today. Lance.
Yeah, Rob, I want to circle back on a couple of the seminars. You know, all of them are at 6 o'clock. Something different we're trying, 6 seminars. Think about that. I mean, 6 seminars in the month of September alone. That just tells you how fast that these continue to grow. If you're new to Medicare in the next 12 months, if you've worked past the age of 65, but now you're getting ready to retire, you want to come to one of these seminars. You're going to get a great overview of Medicare in the simplest forms possible. And one of the things that we're trying is we're doing back-to-back seminars in September on the 12th and the 13th in Monroeville, and we're actually going to add a Social Security wrinkle to those seminars, Rob. And we've already got over 30 people registered for those 2 dates. So you definitely, if you're in the Monroeville area, you're going to want to be able to get registered, sign up, be a part of that. And then also the AHN McCandless, when we're going to be there on the 19th. 2 seminar times there. That's 6 o'clock and 7:15. A little bit of a smaller room, but in our relationship with AHN, we are always filling those spaces. So, but today, Mark, we want to get into strategic partnerships, and I know this week you actually had someone that we've worked with reached out to you. Just kind of tell people, and then next segment we'll jump into more about what this means.
Sure. Yeah. This week we had somebody reach out to us. Someone. Strategic partner reach out and say that one of his longtime clients was about to turn 65 and get on Medicare. This fella had done a bunch of research himself, but he really needed some guidance. There's a lot of nuances to what we do. There's a lot of questions people have. There's a lot of mistakes that people can make, and that's why you want to depend on us. We're here for you. We can give you expert advice, right? And so they reached out to us. We were able to sit down with this fella. We were able to help him find the coverage that works well for him, helps cover his medications, helps with the doctor network. It's always good, even if you think you know something about a subject.
Yep.
It's always good to get a second opinion. It's always good to get somebody that works in that industry to help you understand what that means or what if you're thinking right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, educated guy, did well for himself throughout his life, great planner, did a bunch of research.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, he was still, what? It's a free service. I have to take advantage of the experts at MediConnect, and we were so excited. And he had a tight turnaround. He had a very tight window.
Yeah.
He had a couple days to actually get across the finish line, and that's one of the things when you have 30 advisors, 30 people, we can make sure that we get you in on a tight timeline. And, so just one of the examples, of how we were able to assist this financial advisor, his clients, really give a great value add, really, which we'll talk about in the next segment to his clients. So again, if you need an appointment today, Rob's going to let you know how to do it.
I am going to tell you that right now. 888-818-6334, 888-818-6334. We have a winner in the trivia question. It's Ron from Shadyside. Here's the question, and here's the answer. Mark.
All right, so the question was, what was the name of the naval ship where the surrender declaration was signed ending World War II? And the answer is the USS Missouri.
What a day.
What a day.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Again, if you want to make an appointment with the incredible people who are standing by right now representing this amazing brand, it's absolutely free. You never pay for their services. Call right now. Those advisors are standing by until noon. 888-818-6334, 888-818-6334. And for the seminars, click on the seminars tab at MediConnectInsurance.com. All this and more awaits you every single time you plug in to the single clear choice when it comes to Medicare coverage in this part of the country. It's MediConnect. The show is the Inside Connection. Mark Clark, Lance O'Brien, me, Rob Pratt, your Pat Pratt back with more in just a couple of moments on KDKA. Good morning.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Company.
Go between the hash marks and get your football fix every Thursday evening at 6 with the Bowser Chevrolet Quest for the Best High School Football Show live from Shooters Golf in Wexford. Dan Zangrilli and the Dean of High School Sports, Mike White, break it all down. It's brought to you by Allegheny Health Network Sports Medicine, Parmar Stores, Beatty Tech, and First National Bank. Only on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
.65 degrees and fair skies at Pittsburgh International at 9:30. I'm Pat Septak. Police are investigating after an 11-year-old boy was struck by a vehicle in a hit-and-run crash while riding his bicycle. It happened last night in the city's Arlington neighborhood. According to Pittsburgh Public Safety, the unidentified boy was hit around 9 o'clock in the 2400 block of Spring Street. He was taken to a local hospital with what's being called minor injuries to his arms and legs. Mayor Ed Gainey attributes the recent increase in crime in downtown Pittsburgh to what he calls cracks in the system. He held a press conference yesterday saying that he has created a task force to address the problems. His announcement comes just one day after a fatal shooting, which also injured 2 others. And it follows the violent arrest of a man for drug violations that was caught on video just 1 week ago. Healthcare providers say the number of cases of COVID-19 is spiking again in southwestern Pennsylvania. Norm Mitri, president and CEO of Heritage Valley Health Systems, tells Rick Dayton on News Radio KDKA they currently have 8 patients with COVID in their 3 hospitals.
Hopefully as people hear this, especially coming with this holiday weekend where there will be thousands of people down at Acashore Stadium for the Rip Fest, hopefully people think about that a bit and try to take a little bit of precaution out there against the slow, subtle resurgence of COVID-19.
And he's encouraging folks to get the new COVID boosters, which will likely be available come late September or early October. With Labor Day on Monday, this is expected to be one of the busiest travel weekends of the year, with millions leaving home.
Nearly 150 million Americans are hitting the roads and skies. According to AAA, bookings for domestic travel are up 4% this Labor Day weekend, even amid high gas prices. TSA expects 14 million people will fly.
That's CBS News correspondent Michelle Miller reporting. We have fair skies and 65 degrees in Pittsburgh. I'm Pat Septak. Our next update at 10. And stay up to date minute by minute on our Twitter feed at KDKA Radio.
Enter the Alcosan Summer Sweepstakes at alcosan.org from August 4th to September 16th. Win great prizes like a Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium family membership and much more. Each week's a new chance to win, so don't forget to keep entering. Learn more at alcosan.org.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together, millions of things for our planet. Summer items like garden hoses, pool toys, and lawn chairs are not recyclable and best donated to charity. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It is going to be mostly sunny today and warm, but not too humid with a high of 86. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 67. Very warm and more humid tomorrow with sunshine, high up to 88. Hot and humid on Monday with sunshine, high up to 92. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Rindy, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by MediConnect.
These are the people that make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, we're back, and Lance is running the controls today, so he gets to do whatever he wants. He's a little under the weather, so we're going to give him a gold star and an A for effort. And I know you want to talk about Ron from Shady Side again. Before you do, one of my most beloved callers who I have enjoyed for many years. Him and his great conversations with the amazing Jim Meredith talking finance, of course, Baird, Your Money, and You. Got a voice I could only hope to have for radio, but really one of the best guys on the planet. So you want to talk about our winner who called in today, and he is Ron from Shadyside.
Yeah, we appreciate Ron as a listener. We really appreciate all of our listeners. I don't know if you realize this, Rob, but this weekend, right around this time, this is the anniversary when we started the show.
How many years?
5 years now. So it's been an amazing ride, from where we were. And, our mission has always stayed the same, though, right? Yeah. Like bridging the healthcare gap and Medicare made simple. Right. That's really what this all comes down to is, in a city of bridges, we know that you can't get to one place from the other without having a way to cross it, right? And that's really what we're trying to do is help people cross from 64 to 65, or if they work past the age of 65 into retirement, we want to help them cross from retirement coverage, group coverage, and we're just passionate about it. And over these last years, it's amazing to me the numbers of people. I mean, it's in the tens of thousands now that listen to this show every weekend, right? It's the tens of thousands that we help. Over the years, we're over 18,000 clients, I think now, somewhere in that neighborhood, approaching 20,000 clients. Our team has grown, and it's fun. It's been an amazing ride. Brian, Sean, Joe, Lauren, Mark, the whole team. It's just really been awesome to be a part of. And one of the big things that's really happened, I would say, in the last 2 to 3 years, Rob, is it's been more than just the individual. Right. Because in the beginning, a lot of it was the individual. And trust me, there's still a lot of individuals. Now it's the organizations that are coming and saying, we want to add your services to what we're doing because we see your reputation, we see your approach, we see how you're doing things, So now we work with some of the biggest financial advisors in the city, elder law attorneys, tax accountants, the carriers themselves, Rob. The privilege of being able to be in the AHN hospitals and be a representative to the people that go there as patients, UPMC, the things that we do with Aetna, United Healthcare, Cigna, some of these great people that we're going to have on the show in the next number of months. The physicians groups that we work with, we're going to have one of the great groups in the area, Preferred Primary Care Physicians, on in a few weeks, and the work that they do and their model of care, right? To be able to be a resource for all of these people, and to have the reputation and, it's just a great thing. It's a great feeling.
I actually was running around a lot the last couple of days here and with Mr. Dentisi, but I went down to Heritage Valley in Swickley because my sister had back surgery and she's on Medicare. And as I was sitting in her room kind of helping her, cut up her steak and this and that, what have you, one of the things that came to my mind was how fortunate to be able to say she's got Medicare coverage because, she's a single parent, lives on a fixed income. Yep. Doesn't have to worry about medical costs because of what you all do every day, helping people make sure they have the right plan for them.
And Mark, why do you think that not just the individuals, but the organizations, why do you think this is built the way it has?
Well, it's really based on our value statements. It strikes a nerve with these organizations, right? We education based. We analyze and we give guidance on. We help educate people on how Medicare works and how it should work for you. We're fully independent. We have no bias towards any insurance company. Our services begin with relationship, and yeah, like I always like to say it like this: we're not gonna, after we help you get on Medicare, we're not going to leave in a cloud of dust and a Hardy Hi-Yo silver, right? we're going to be around. We're here to help service your account. We're here to help you. And this is all at no cost, right? Look at our Google reviews. Our Google reviews will show you that people love working with us. One of the best assets we have, Lance, is our agents. Yeah. Our agents care about people. Sometimes I think they care a little too much. Sometimes, I mean, they will go out of the way to do things for people that, normally when you're working in the service industry or the sales industry, it's kind of a wham bam, thank you, ma'am kind of thing, right? Yep. And so we are. You got to understand that our people care. So Even our YouTube channel. Think about that. It's grown to 9,000 subscribers
this year.
Listen, you think you could tag me in a few of those?
Sure thing, buddy.
Sure.
You want to come and do a few videos with us?
I have done one, and I want to come back.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I think the thing that is so important is, we've really hung our hat on Medicare and healthcare in general, and again, this is not a negative in any way, but, there's a lot of insurance agents out there where they're really focusing on every aspect of every type of insurance, that's out there, life insurance and annuities and property and casualty and all these different things. And, there may be a day where we do that, but I mean, we're passionate about Medicare. Right. We're passionate about the ACA. We want to make sure that those two complicated things that you're going to come across, that you are able to navigate them. It's why, now 120 seminars this year, just continually getting that education out, building that relationship, as Mark was just talking about. And, if you're out there today and maybe you're you have a small business, right, and you're carrying insurance for employees that are the age of 65 or greater, and you're looking at that insurance bill every month and you're like, man, this is really cutting into what we're trying to do. I mean, we can help you. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. If you've got a mid-sized company and you've got people that are on your insurance, right, that are Medicare age, we can help in those scenarios.
This makes such perfect sense. When you think about the big picture, it's amazing we didn't talk more about this when we first started, but this really is something you guys can do easy.
And we're doing it all the time now. I mean, think about it. If the employer's paying $1,000 for their coverage, right, and I don't want to go too deep in the weeds here, and then the or maybe they're paying $500 and then the employee's paying $500 and there's $1,000 right there. But that person's eligible for Medicare. What if we could get them the Cadillac of all medical insurance for $300 or less? And then if the employer wants to throw a few more bucks in their employee's pocket, right, and still save $500 at the end of the day, the employee's happy, the employer's happy. We're doing this every week now, Rob, with employers. We're doing it with doctor facilities, with their employees, right? Like, there's a market out there where people are just like, well, we'll just keep them on our insurance. Well, maybe that's the best thing, but more often than not, when you look at both sides of the cost paradigm, it's not, right? So we would love to really assist.
But, listen, it's a good deal for both sides. And that's why, as I head into another year, as I approach 67, I'm highly considering going to Medicare and saying thank you to Odyssey for taking care of me for so long. I want to stay here as an employee. Not to say that I'm the biggest fish in the pond, but every little bit helps. It's just, in my opinion, it's the right thing. It's the respectful thing to do.
It is. And it's Andy popped in between one of the segments, brought you some eggs. What a great guy he is, right? Just got back from Africa and, his trip there. But we did this for his company, right? And
he loved it.
He'd be the first one to tell you.
Blown away by it.
He caught me outside the studio one Saturday morning and said, you know what? I got a few employees that are turning 65. I'm listening to your show. Is there anything you can do for me? And I mean, he'll tell you he was over $1,000 for those employees, right? So, there's so much that we can do beyond the individual. Again, we're going to stay focused on the individual, Mark, right?
Absolutely.
Because we care about each person.
Absolutely.
But the organizations, we can help them so much too.
That's right. Oftentimes what people don't realize is they can still work and be on Medicare.
Yeah.
Sometimes they think, oh, but I'll have to be retired. No, you can still work and be on your Medicare. And what do we find with group coverage? We find oftentimes that there's a high deductible, right? Most Medicare it has zero deductible, and if it does have a deductible, it's around $200.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so it's much different.
It's much different. Copays so often, even if you think you have good group coverage, right? The copays for going to a specialist or the copays for going to your PCP can still be higher than being on Medicare. And so it's really important that you sit down and you compare, because not only you're going to save your company something, but you could get better coverage. Maybe you've been holding off going to see your doctor because, I don't want to pay that deductible or that co-insurance, right? I haven't met my deductible this year, or whatever. Get on Medicare and go get the kind of care that you need.
Yeah, and I think you actually brought up a good point, Mark. People think, well, if I'm working, I have to keep my group coverage. They also think that if I'm not taking my Social Security, I can't go to Medicare, right?
Yeah.
And that's not true. You don't have to take your Social Security to go on Medicare, right? If you want to keep working, keep making your salary, but you can get better and let your Social Security raise. Rob, you did it for a year and a half, right? You let your Social Security keep growing while you stayed on, your group coverage here, right? Just be educated. That's the biggest thing. Let us make Medicare simple for you.
Well, listen, I've learned so much in these last 5 years that I can tell you unequivocally, I would have known none of this unless we were doing this show. So if it works for me, all you got to do is take an hour out of your time, or you can follow them on Facebook. You can watch this program continually throughout the week that is going and streaming live right now, podcasts, all sorts of things. So there's no reason to go uninformed, right, Mark?
That's right. Yeah, there's no reason at all. Then we got the seminars coming up, right? September 5th. At the Holiday Inn in Irwin, September 12th at the Holiday Inn in Monroeville. The next day, September 13th, we're going to be in Monroeville, the Holiday Inn again. Those are all at 6 p.m. Those Monroeville, there's going to be a different wrinkle to it, talking about Social Security. And then September 19th, we're going to be at AHN Hospital in McCandless. That's on Duncan Avenue. But we actually have two seminars that night, one at 6 p.m., one at 7:15. You don't want to miss that. If you want to register, you can go to MediConnect.com, go to our website, go to the seminar tab, click that. You can register there, or you could call our live advisors. They'll be standing by till noon, 888-818-6334.
All right, we're going to come back with Mark and Lance and review today's show. Next hour, it's the True Value Home Improvement Show with Andy and Mike, and then Tracy Edwards, AAA Central's Talking Travel. All that's still to come today, right here on KDK with your Pratt Pack.
The bus stop is what you'll be doing.
Traffic is stopped.
Watch for stop traffic.
Get back to back-to-school traffic.
Back to school.
It affects everything.
Real-time updates.
Mornings on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Long live the king.
Return to the magic and mystique of the Renaissance. The Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. This weekend, September 2nd through the 4th, is Kids Free Weekend. Kids 12 and under are free.
It's entertainment. It's fantasy.
It's an adventure. To the past.
Eat, drink, and be merry at the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. Kids are free. Open weekends through October 1st. Go to PittsburghRenFest.com.
The Coons Market Meat Department is widely recognized for high standards and quality.
Which is why Coons proudly features certified Hereford beef cuts.
Certified Hereford beef is sourced by an alliance of selected farmers and ranchers, some who are right here in Pennsylvania, and represents the highest quality of beef.
Combine that with the experienced meat cutters at all 8 Coons Market locations, and you're getting the best cuts of beef available in Pittsburgh to put on your dinner table. This week, find
Family Pack 80% lean fresh ground beef, just $3.99 per pound. Certified Hereford beef, fresh ground chuck patties, 2-pound package, only $9.99 each. And with savings you can see on your Coons Reward card, meaty, tender St. Louis style spare ribs, just $2.49 per pound.
Super savings every day.
Visit Coons today for certified Hereford beef cuts, along with other Coons quality beef, pork, and poultry, all hand cut by experienced meat cutters.
Shop at one of Coons' 8 locations or shop online at coonsmarket.com for convenient home delivery or curbside pickup.
Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's hard to believe, but a new school year is upon us. This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. If a college move-in is on your to-do list, let OMF help. we have most products available for immediate pickup at our factory locations. If you realize you need a box spring, are missing the bed frame, or even something more unique like an extra long twin mattress, we will have it ready for pickup or quick delivery. Let the Original Mattress Factory help take the stress off college moving. Visit one of our locations today.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people that make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
No, Phil Jerkovic will get the job done today, Lance, against Wofford. All right, here we go. Lance O'Brien, Mark Clark going to wrap up today's show, the Inside Connection MediConnect.
Yeah, so again, happy Labor Day to everybody out there. We got Pitt football starting today. Return of the native son, right? To be at the helm of the Panthers. I'm personally excited to see that because I did kind of follow his high school career.
Great career.
Yeah, great career. Really hoping that he can bring a lot. We got the Steelers next week, which I won't be on with you, but I'll be at the game. And looking forward to that. What do you think? What do you guys think about this Steelers season?
I think it's going to be a lot better than people think for a number of reasons, but I also know that I'm hoping Nick Bosa does not sign a contract and he's not on the defensive side of the football for the 49ers. Listen, everybody's talking about Brock Purdy being a 7th-round pick, but they have Deebo Samuels who can do just about anything. They've got Mr. Kittle at tight end, so this is a good football team. And I think it's going to be a good barometer. If the Steelers can get this win at AccuSure Stadium next week and Pickett continue to do half of what he's done in the preseason, I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised. We'll see how it all works out.
Yeah, I mean, I got to go to training camp once. I personally, I went to the Bills scrimmage. I mean, they look good. I feel it looks like his decision making and his speed of play has really picked up. I think they got good weapons. Offensive line should be better. Defense looks strong. I like what they did with the cornerbacks.
But here's the thing I must be missing, and I'm pretty much all in on this. They're talking about how Najee might not be the starting running back. It could be Jaylen Warren. I mean, I can't see that happening.
Yeah, Jaylen Warren seems like he's one of those like a fire hydrant, spark plug kind of guy, right? Like he's just, bam, he hits a hole, he runs.
But let me tell you what else this is. It's what you call strategy. Making him realize, even though we're paying you a lot, we may not let you start, but we probably will, but we just want you to work a little harder for it.
I think it's going to be one of those thunder and lightning backfields, right?
Yeah, that's prototypical for the NFL now.
Yeah, pound, soften them up, and then let Warren, go crazy.
Or pitch it to McFarland or Calvin Austin and let him turn on that jet sweep speed they got.
Yeah, so very exciting. But, yeah, a lot going on for us. We're less than a month away from the enrollment period. I want to get your appointment now, 888-818-6334. If you get scheduled now for after the 1st of October, we can start going over all the plan details. We got some great shows coming up in the near future. I know that we're going to be having Cigna and Aetna, Highmark, UPMC on the show, and many, many more. As we're going to dig into what they're doing, we're excited to get Sean back into the fold here shortly, hopefully another week or so. Great recovery. If he's listening to this morning, shout out to him.
That's right. Thanks for the donuts yesterday.
Oh, did he bring donuts yesterday? I wasn't in office yesterday.
He had a little surprise. He texted me the night before and said, hey, I want to come to the agent meeting tomorrow morning. Don't tell anybody. And I'm just going to walk in about 5 minutes later. So I sat there stalling. Everybody's looking at me like, what's going on? Why aren't we moving forward, right? And all of a sudden, Sean walked in, and that was the end of it.
Listen, he probably feels like a kid that summer's truly coming to an end. We're glad that he's doing okay. But
It's been a rough summer, but yeah, he's
been home for a few days, so he's probably anticipating coming back.
I think he's itching.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So if you're new to Medicare in the next 12 months and you're itching yourself to figure this out, maybe you're confused, overwhelmed, your phone's starting to light up like a Christmas tree, your mailbox is starting to get full with stuff that you're not sure what to do with, let us alleviate a lot of that. we can help you so much. September 5th, we're going to be at the Holiday Inn in Irwin. On the 12th and 13th, we're going to be at the Holiday Inn Monroeville. You're going to want to register for those 2 days. I already got about 30 people for those nights. We're adding a Social Security wrinkle that I think will, as well as what we normally do, something we're trying to see if we can bring more information to the table for everybody. The 19th at 6 and 7:15, we're going to be at AHN Hospital in McCandless. On the 20th, we'll be Holiday Inn, Washington Pike in Bridgeville. And then on the 26th, Beaver Memorial Library, Beaver, PA, also going to be in Cranberry. North, south, east, west, you're going to find us in the month of September and October. So we're here to serve.
You know, when you think about how quickly this enrollment period comes around, it's like we just said goodbye, and now it's time to say hello again, right?
57 days, Rob. 57 days of chaos.
Well, you know, and we do focus a lot on people that are going to be 65 or currently 65, or maybe this is the calendar year. But this is really for everybody.
Mark, we help a ton of people that are already on Medicare. Like you said earlier, and I'll turn it over to you, Mark, because you've been in the field more recently than me. Yeah. But we'll help 3,000 plus people in this enrollment period, and 2/3 of them are already on Medicare.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, it pays to have an appointment, sit down with somebody, take a look at your plan. These plans can change every day. Or every year, not every day, but every year these plans change. Someday they might. This is true. Sometimes it feels like it's every day.
It does.
But you mentioned before, Lance, you know, you're getting all this stuff in the mail. You see all these commercials. You know, we can't stop the mail from coming about Medicare. But what we can do, if you meet with us, we can give you a reason you can just throw that stuff in the circular file. You know, you can just throw it away, right? Then you don't have to pay attention to those commercials. You don't have to pay attention to that mail that comes in. When those phone calls come and people are trying to talk to you about Medicare, you can say, I already have Lance. I already have Mark. I already have MediConnect. I know I can trust them. I know they're local. I know that they'll take care of me and do what's best for me. And so, you know, I always love annual enrollment period because I always say, Rob, it's like riding a wave. I'm not a surfer, but I can imagine what it would be like to you ever see those videos, right? Those guys on the surfboard and then the tube rolls over them. And I'm thinking the whole time, there's a shark there somewhere, too.
That kind of reminds me of my career. You know, you think about it. Riding high one day and then a shark chasing you the next. Listen, these seminars, let's hit them one more time, gentlemen.
September 5th, the Holiday Inn in Irwin. The 12th and 13th of September, Holiday Inn in Monroeville. All those are at 6 o'clock. September 19th, we're going to be at AHN Hospital in McCandless, 6 and 7:15. The 20th, Holiday Inn, Washington Pike in Bridgeville, and then the 26th, Beaver Memorial. We do have a full listing of seminars on the website into October, November. So if you're going to be 65 in the next 12 months or you're getting ready to retire, you're post 65, you do not want to miss these seminars. Medicare Made Simple. If you've listened today and you own a business or you're a financial planner, listen, we're like the plumber. All we want to do is come in and do what we do best, which is the Medicare. We'll protect all the rest of your business and really make sure that your clients are taken care of and your employees.
All right, again, number 888-818-6334, 888-818-6334. They're standing by now until noon. You can get and reserve your space for those seminars or go to MediConnectInsurance.com and click on the seminars tab. And again, can't remind you enough, that enrollment period around the bend, 57 days, 65, currently 65, going to be 65, over 65. You want to revisit, you need to make an appointment absolutely free of charge, 888-818-6334. Mark, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Rob. Thank you so much.
You too, Lance.
Thanks, buddy.
All right,
Always
stay tuned.
a pleasure.
News coming up next with your Pratt Pack on KDKA.
The preceding was paid for by MediConnect. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry and Marty. Breaking news and making a difference.
If we don't talk about it, nobody knows about it. And if nobody knows about it, nothing happens.
Where's the leadership at? You know, if it wasn't for you and Larry, no one would know about these things.
And what's the plan?
Right on, brother.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry and Marty. Weekday mornings 5:30 till 10 on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
The Coons Market Meat Department is widely recognized for high standards and quality.
Which is why Coons proudly features certified Hereford beef cuts.
Certified Hereford beef is sourced by an alliance of selected farmers and ranchers, some who are right here in Pennsylvania, and represents the highest quality of beef.
Combine that with the experienced meat cutters at all 8 Coons Market locations, and you're getting the best cuts of beef available in Pittsburgh to put on your dinner table. This week, find
Family Pack 80% lean fresh ground beef, just $3.99 per pound. Certified Hereford beef fresh ground chuck patties, 2-pound package, only $9.99 each. And with savings you can see on your Coons Reward card, meaty, tender St. Louis style spare ribs, just $2.49 per pound.
Super savings every day.
Visit Coons today for certified Hereford beef cuts, along with other Coons quality beef, pork, and poultry, all hand cut by experienced meat cutters.
Shop at one of Coons' 8 locations or shop online at coonsmarket.com for convenient home delivery or curbside pickup.
Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
When a cold comes on strong, knock it out with Vicks DayQuil Severe for max strength daytime relief. Just one dose of Vicks DayQuil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through your day with Vicks DayQuil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine. Use as directed.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Company.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
70 degrees and fair skies at Pittsburgh International.